In 1992, Cedar Point was getting ready to add their next big addition to the park. They decided to add a large new part of the park that featured many upcharge attractions and would be free to enter. However, this part of the park didn't last long and would be shut down forever in 2016. Today, we're going to look at the full history of this part of Cedar Point and take a look at each of its attractions individually. Let's get right into the video. There were two attractions that were part of Challenge Park when it first opened. The first of these attractions was a mini golf course called Challenge Golf. The mini golf was an upcharge, as Challenge Park would be a new part of Cedar Point that had free admission for all who wished to enter into it, unlike Cedar Point, which had a gate admission charge. It featured two 18-hole courses for a total of 36 holes in all. The second attraction that would be built with Challenge Park was Grand Prix Raceway. Grand Prix Raceway was a form of go-kart, but it was like no other go-kart that had been seen before. The Grand Prix Raceway cars went much faster than your normal go-kart, and you had to be over 16 and have a valid ID in order to enter the ride. This attraction also cost money to ride and was known as an extreme go-kart track. The initial two attractions were successful and popular for Challenge Park, with many people entering the park and paying the upcharges to ride the attractions. 4 years later, Cedar Point would expand the area with a new ride called RipCord. RipCord was a sky coaster ride, the type of ride that you can find at most parks for an upcharge, where you are dragged up into the air and pull a ripcord to have you swing up to hundreds of feet in the air. Cedar Point's ride was 152 feet high. With the ripcord, Cedar Point had a pretty substantial extra addition to the park. However, in 2001, they would try again and adding another ride with a ride called VertiGo. VertiGo was a slingshot type ride that featured seats that could tilt down during the ride experience. However, after operating for one season, in the winter of 2001, one of the three towers that held up the ride collapsed. Because of this, the ride had to be removed. Although the ride was popular during the season that it operated, it was a failure as you can't get a return on investment in a ride that fails during its first year. 3 years after VertiGo, Cedar Point would open another ride in Challenge Park called the Extreme Trampoline. Extreme Trampoline would open in 2004 and it was a giant trampoline. It had a special feature of the guests being strapped in, which meant that people could do all sorts of tricks on it and could jump very high on the Extreme Trampoline. The Extreme Trampoline added another popular experience to Cedar Point, and Challenge Park was continued to be popular. However, in 2007, the Extreme Trampoline was taken out in favor of using the land for a new ride called Skyscraper. The Skyscraper was an extreme spinning swing in which riders would swing 160 feet into the sky at 60 miles an hour while the seats spun and flipped in the air. It was a very thrilling experience that would last for a long time at Challenge Park. However, Challenge Park's life was soon cut short, as in 2015 Challenge Racing and the Skyscraper were closed. Then the following year, 2016, RipCord was moved into the main park and became Professor Delbert's Frontier Fling, and Challenge Golf would close. This left Challenge Park with no attractions, and it would close down in 2016. In 2017, the area was used for an expansion of the Soak City Water Park, which would be renamed Cedar Point Shores. Closing the park was a good business decision for Cedar Point to expand the water park, as the water park is now a separate part of the park and is very popular. However, many people still have fond memories of Challenge Park to look back on. Thanks guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like as that helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to get more great coaster content just like this. As always, see you in the next one. ZZ Coasters, signing off.